Okay, it's recording. Thank you, everyone, for joining this meeting. So this is our spring program for Foster City AYSO. And this meeting is for 4U and 5U parents. And we have had two other meetings last week for 6U and 8U parents and 10U and 12U parents. And if you have kids in multiple divisions, some of this might be repetitive, but it's important that you understand what we are offering for the younger kids, especially the 3-year-olds and the 4-year-olds. Cool. Let's move on to the next slide. Just a little bit of background about AYSO. Before I get into all these details, at any point of time, if folks have any questions about what I'm talking about, feel free to interrupt me. I will try my best to look at the chat, but it's better if you just unmute yourself and interrupt me and ask your question, okay, if you have any questions. So AYSO is almost 50 plus years old. That is Foster City AYSO, and I think the national AYSO was started in 1964, so it's 60 plus years old. And its mission is to develop and deliver quality youth soccer programs throughout the country to promote a fun family environment. And the family is critical over here, and we love to have your participation, especially among this age group where the children are very young. It is extremely important that you understand that most of these kids who are 3 years or 4 years old usually will not step onto the field by themselves, and sometimes, and more often than not, they require the encouragement of their parents, and so we want you to be involved as much as possible. There are 6 philosophies of AYSO, and every AYSO region follows this. Everyone plays, balanced teams, open registration, positive coaching, good sportsmanship, and player development. So let me talk about that a little bit. Everyone plays. The registration is open to everyone. There are no tryouts. Anyone who is registered is allowed to play. Even though we call ourselves Foster City AYSO, there are quite a few kids and parents who are outside of Foster City AYSO who are registered and play in Foster City. Give me a minute. Someone wants to join. And the registration is open to everyone across all demographics, across, there is no discrimination of any kind. Balanced teams. We try to balance the teams as much as possible. This really does not apply that much to the 4U and 5U program because the kids are still young. But I'm assuming a lot of parents in the 4U, 5U program are new to AYSO, and I just want to spend a few minutes talking about how AYSO operates. Balanced teams means, especially as we get to 6U and above, we make sure that there is no one strong team with all the strong players. And how do we do that? We rate every player at the end of every season and use those ratings to form the teams for the next season. And we also make sure, especially as you go to 6U, 8U, 10U, there are kids of 2 different ages. So for example, 8U will have 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds, and 10U will have 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds. The U stands for under, so which means 10 and under. And we try to balance the team such that all the 9-year-olds are spread evenly across the 8, and the 8-year-olds are also spread evenly. Open registration. I think open registration and everyone plays goes together. We have, like I said, we have no tryouts. It's open to everyone. And whoever is registered is allowed to play. And the other 3, positive coaching and good sportsmanship and player development, also go hand in hand. Our coaches go through a lot of training. There are coaches who, there are parents who become coaches who have never played soccer, or they have become referees who have never played soccer before. And we have a very rigorous training program that is developed by AYSO National, and it is one of the best training programs. that our coaches have to go through. And one of the aspects of it is positive coaching. The coaches their job is not just to win. Obviously, anytime they have a team, the goal is to win, but that is not their only goal. They want to make sure that even if the team doesn't win, the kids feel good about it. Doesn't matter how the game goes or what is the outcome of the game. We still want to make sure that the kids feel good about it. And I'll give you specific examples. And positive coaching and good sportsmanship go hand in hand. Examples are, for example, if a team, even if they lose a game, they shake hands with the rest of the players. They give cheers to the other team also. And for example, if even if the kids or the coaches do not agree, is there an earthquake going on? I felt my whole building shake. Okay. And so even if the kids or the coaches do not agree with the calls of the referee, they still have to shake hands with the referee at the end of the game. Even if the coaches don't agree with the opposing side's way of playing or the opposing coach, they all shake hands at the end of the game. And so these are some of the examples of positive coaching and good sportsmanship. And player development, we want to make sure that the coaches develop all the players, not just the best players. And so to give you an example of both player development and everyone plays, Foster City AYSO requires that every player plays 3/4 of a game. Okay. And no player can play 4 complete quarters until every player has played 3/4 of a game. And so we do this throughout the spring season as well as the fall season. And the reason why we do that is such that everyone gets an opportunity to play. And only if you get an opportunity to play will a player develop. For example, if you play only your strong players and you basically bench your weak players, the weak players will never develop because they don't get opportunities to play. So these are some of the 6 philosophies that we follow very rigorously. And I just wanted to give you a quick background on that. Any questions? Okay, cool. Moving on. These are some of our volunteers. Our entire program, all of AYSO is completely volunteer driven. It's one of the largest volunteer organizations, or I don't know about the largest, one of the largest volunteer organizations. It's definitely the largest volunteer sports organization. And it is the largest youth sports organization in the United States. We have close to 50,000 volunteers and more than, I believe, 500,000 kids go through AYSO every year nationally. And we all do this for various reasons, either because we love the kids, either we love the game, or we love the community. There are multiple reasons why every board member puts in their time. A lot of us have full-time jobs, and we somehow make time to put together a program like this in whatever free time that we can get. And we don't get paid for this. So just FYI, this is completely volunteer driven. And if any of you feel like you have a few extra hours that you can donate to us in terms of volunteer time, we would really appreciate it. And we would like you to come and volunteer for us. We put in a lot of hours because the board is becoming, the AYSO board is becoming smaller and smaller every year. And like, for example, my son has graduated out of the program. He's 16 years old. He no longer plays soccer. He does other sports. And so we would like a lot of the parents with younger kids to come and join the board, come up with your innovative ideas, come with your energy. And so if you feel like volunteering, drop me a line at any point of time. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Let's get into the spring season. So it's led by UK International Soccer. We have been partnering with them for more than 20 years. We have had great experiences We have had a great experience working with UK International Soccer. We have 4 UK coaches who are visiting this spring, and some of them just landed yesterday, and some of the parents who have kids in older divisions whose kids are practiced today might have met them already. There are 12 Saturday sessions and optional weekday practices. For 4U, 5U kids, there are no weekday practices because the kids are just too young, and that's why we just have Saturday sessions for the 4U, 5U kids. Any questions? Moving on. Saturday sessions start this Saturday and end on June 7th. Weekday practices don't apply to 4U, 5U, and even the last bullet point does not apply to 4U, 5U. For 8U, 10U, and 12U, we'll have an end of season tournament. Just something exciting. We will have something exciting for the smaller kids. We plan to have a shaved ice truck or some other form of treats for the younger kids on the last Saturday of the spring program. Okay. Moving on. For those of you who are new to Foster City AYSO as well as Foster City, all the Saturday sessions will be held in Sea Cloud Park. You can easily find it out, find it on Google Maps. All the Saturday sessions will be held on S3. For some 4U, 5U kids, it will also be held on S2, and I'll cover that in the slides that are coming up. So this is the map of Sea Cloud Park. So most of your Saturday sessions should be on this park called this field called S3, and some 4U, 5U sessions will be on this S2 area. It is not very well demarcated because baseball is going on, and there is something called an outfield fence, which is sort of like a quarter circle on S2 West, but there is a big area over here that is available for the 4U, 5U kids on Saturday mornings for them to do their sessions. Okay. Moving on. If you ever want to look at a map of Sea Cloud Park, you can go to fostercityayso.org and go to our website basically and just click on map of Sea Cloud Park, and you will see the exact map that I showed over here, which looks just like this. All Saturday sessions are at S3, and some of them, especially for the 4U and 5U girls, will be at S2 in this, between the west and east part of S2 that's closer to S3. Parking is available on the streets, and then there are 2 parking lots. There's a very small parking lot over here, and there's a pretty big parking lot over here. Even though there is enough parking, make sure that you come early. On Saturdays, there's a lot of youth sports that are going on. Baseball will be going on, club soccer will be going on, and parking usually gets full. In spite of ample parking being available, parking does get full. And so make sure that if you want to show up on time, make sure that you come early and find a good parking spot. Ignore this whole thing about the levee project work area. It's an old map. All that has been done, and this entire parking lot is available. So just sort of like an overview of our divisions. If you're wondering how our divisions are formed, kids that are born in 2021 go to 4U, and 2020 go to 5U. And so if your kid is in 2020, next year, they will probably be in 6U. Okay, so just FYI. So these are the Saturday sessions. So from 8:30 to 9:20 is the 5U boys and the 4U boys. Okay. And from 9:30 to 10:20 is the 4U and the 5U girls. Okay. And I don't think the rest of the stuff matters. Okay. Okay. Somebody raised a hand. Yeah, go ahead. Ask a question. Feel free to. Yeah, go ahead, Smriti. You raised your hand. Do you have a question? Or did you type your question in your chat? No, no questions in the chat. Maybe that was just a random click. Okay. Okay. Are people able to speak? Is that, am I just, okay.
Hey, Karthik, Sandeep here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I had a question. So 5U is 5 and under, right? So 2020 January would still be 5U, right?
So you should go by what division your kid has been assigned to when you registered. When you registered, you enter your date of birth and your, your child's date of birth, and your child should be assigned a division. So you
Okay,
should,
got it.
yeah, you should go, basically, if you go to fcayso.org and log in, and it should be it should tell you which program your or which division your kid has been assigned to. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Just checking, Smriti, you still have a question? So let me go back to the schedule. I see a couple of questions about later time, right? So we have developed this schedule based on the availability of the UK coaches as well as the availability of the fields. One of the reasons why we built this schedule is, for example, the 10U or the 12U girls don't require that much supervision from UK coaches, but the 5U boys and the 4U boys and the 8U girls and the 4U, 5U girls require supervision, right? And as the day goes by, what we have heard from feedback from earlier years is that anything later than 11 is not good for the really young children. And so that's why we decided to keep it early, because that's the feedback. I'm not saying it applies to everyone. The majority of the feedback we have got is that the young kids, like the really small ones, the 3-year-old and the 4-year-olds, wake up quite early and they would prefer to have early morning sessions. And I know that is, there will always be some exceptions, but at this point, we cannot make any changes to the schedule. I hope everyone understands that. Okay. Cool. Moving on. Yeah, thanks everyone for understanding. This is the best that we can come up. We work with quite a few constraints, and yeah, we try to keep the most of the people happy, and that's how we try to come up with this schedule. Moving on. I think I missed something. Yes. All of you should have shin guards and jerseys. Okay, that is a requirement. AYSO provides jerseys and socks. Uniform pickup is Monday to Thursday. There is a, I will update the WhatsApp group every day with the times. And you should come and pick up your kids' jerseys and socks from Monday to Thursday. It's in the evenings. And you should be buying shorts and shin guards and shoes. Okay. So there is a question, any specific requirements for shin guards and jerseys for 4U, 5U girls? No specific requirement for shin guards. You can easily find shin guards on Amazon, especially for the really younger ones like the 3-year-olds and the 4-year-olds. You should be able to easily order them online. I would recommend soccer cleats because it's ever since my son started playing, right from day one, he had soccer cleats, because as they get older and older, they just get used to the fact that they have to always be wearing soccer cleats. But at this age, soccer cleats are not required. You can just wear sneakers, but shin guards are a requirement. Shin guards are a requirement, and they should be worn under the socks. Okay. and make sure that your kid is wearing the jersey. Okay. There is a question, can we get a refund if the time doesn't work for us? The best person to, I'm not sure about the refund deadlines. Let me post our registrars. The best person to contact is our registrar. Okay. I typed their email, registrar@aysofc.org, and can you please reach out to them? Okay. I think I see some more questions. I'll answer the question in a minute. Rosemary has raised a hand. Go ahead, unmute yourself and let me know what's your question.
Hi, thank you. I just wanted to ask a quick question. I'm not sure if this was addressed already. The uniform pickup for the 5U and the 8U, when will that be? I thought it was this week.
Yes.
Sorry. Thank you.
No worries. Rosemary, are you part of the WhatsApp group?
Yes.
Okay. So the uniform pickup is happening every weekday in the evening. So I was at Sea Cloud today evening, and a bunch of parents came and picked up their uniforms. So someone will be there on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday also, and you can come and pick up your uniform.
I missed that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. What time will you be there?
Let me post that on the WhatsApp group. Okay.
Okay.
There has been, I mean, it depends on the board volunteers showing up, and sometimes the times change at the last minute. If not tonight, check the WhatsApp group tomorrow morning, and there will be an update from me. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No worries. Okay, someone is trying to get in. Admit all. Okay. There's a question. Gary, I'll let you know in a minute. How do you get added to the WhatsApp group? First, can we have a vote? There is a question saying, can we have a vote here for the time? Unfortunately, at this point of time, I don't think I can make any changes to the schedule. The schedule is set in stone. There have been just too many messages that have been sent out. And so just to give you an idea, there are you might think that Sea Cloud Park is pretty big and we have access to all the fields. There are a lot of youth sports programs who are competing for the same set of fields, and everything is allotted to different youth programs by the city by using permits, and we have been permitted for these times, and at this point of time we cannot change the schedule. I'm extremely sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, Nancy, thank you for putting that link. I was going to put that link. Please click on that to get yourself added to the WhatsApp group, or towards the end of the presentation, I have in the last slide, I have a QR code that you can scan. Okay. Cool. Gary asks a question. What size ball do the 4U, 5U use? What size are the nets? Okay. I don't know the number off the top of my head. I'm guessing they use a size 3, which is the smallest. And we use some bow nuts, and they are pretty small goals. Yeah, so they are the smallest possible goals within the AYSO organization. Yeah. But if you are looking for exact dimensions, I can provide that to you later in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Cool. Let me take an action item. Give me a minute. Let me start a scratch pad somewhere where I can take some of these questions that I need to follow up. One question is timing for uniform pickups. And then this other question is size of balls and nets. Okay, thank you. Moving on. So, as you can see, there is a very tight schedule over here. The games or the sessions will start at 8:30, wrap up by 9:20, and it gives the UK coaches about 10 minutes to get prepared for the next set of sessions, and it will start sharp at 9:30. I highly encourage all of you to be at Sea Cloud 15 minutes before. And so plan for parking. And the reason why I'm saying that, at this age, a lot of the kids are shy. They don't want to be thrown into the middle of something that has already started. And the UK coaches will be going through warm-ups to get the kids all excited about what they are going to do. And so I would highly encourage that the kids are there on time, and parents, please make sure that you get them on time, get them there on time. Okay, admitting one more person. Okay, moving on. So all sessions at this age will have drills and scrimmages, and I'll get into the details for each of the divisions, 4U and 5U, boys and girls respectively. Led by 4 UK international coaches. Make sure that you wear your jersey and shin guards. Bring water, bring lots of water as it gets quite warm in spring. No food or colored drinks on turf. And I know at this age, the kids typically don't wear any jewelry or bracelets or earrings, but I have to say this, there will be no jewelry, bracelets, earrings, watches, anything like that allowed, for whatever purpose it might be. Some kids wear some things for religious reasons. We have to ask them to take everything off, okay? And medical IDs are okay. Can kids wear hats? I think hats should be okay. Yeah, it should be fine. But I think the final say on all this is the UK coaches. And if they feel that, hey, something is not allowed, just please listen to them and respect their opinion. Yeah, thank you. Any questions? Okay, moving on. So just a refresher, I will be talking about West and East as we go into the details of each division. This is Sea Cloud Park. This is Sea Cloud Drive, Pitcairn Drive. This is a small parking lot, and these are all the large parking lots. So most of your practices will be in S3 or S2, and West is, as you can see, where the map is, where the slide is pointing to, and East is towards the right. Okay. So 4U boys, session format and rules. We will have 6 groups, which means we will have 3 sessions going on, and each session will be 3v3, run by the UK coaches. So just remember, these are 3-year-olds, right? Do not expect them to be scoring goals or doing slide tackles or bicycle kicks. So they are just trying to figure out their own bodies, and the focus is on motor skills and coordination. A lot of these kids will be very shy to get onto the field. They might be startled by minor things. They might fall and get scratched, and they might start crying. They might get knocked down by a ball, right? Usually all these things, there are so many such incidents, even trivial incidents can happen that can throw them off, and they will not want to play, or they might start crying, or they might be upset. So parents, you have to be around. This is not the age group where you drop off the kids and then you come and pick them up later. Parent involvement is required. Some children will just not get into the field to play with the other kids. They will require the encouragement of the UK coaches, and of course UK coaches will be there. But keep in mind that there are a lot more kids than the number of UK coaches. So parent encouragement is required, okay? So just make sure that you are there, okay? Any questions on this? Yeah, Smriti, looks
Hi.
like, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I had a issue with the mic before, but anyway, now the question about 4U, 5U classification, you had just mentioned the year, so it's just purely based on the year of birth, or is it actually the age of the child, or is there some form that you'll send us letting us know whether we are in the 4U or the 5U group?
Yeah, I think I explained this, right? When you registered your child, you enter your date of birth, and the
Right.
system automatically assigns your child to a division. I or Foster City AYSO has no control over this. This is decided by National AYSO. So if you want to confirm what division your child is in, just log into Foster City AYSO, and it will clearly tell you what division your child is part of. Okay.
I see. Okay, because my order confirmation just says 4U hyphen 5U. It doesn't say one of the two, so that's why I was asking.
Okay.
But I can check back again, log in and check back again, and maybe
Let me
contact you.
Yeah, let me follow up and I'll reply to you. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Let me see if there is anyone else in the queue. Okay, cool. Okay, Gary asks another question. If it rains, are Saturdays normally cancelled? So it depends, right? So if it was raining like the way it was raining today evening, sessions will continue on Saturday. Today evening, all the sessions were happening. All the kids were there. All the UK coaches were there. Once in a while, we will have such hard rain and wind that it's just not possible to play. So AYSO national guidance basically says we will have games no matter what. There are only two conditions under which games and sessions are not conducted: when there is lightning or when air quality index is bad. Okay. But having said that, I usually monitor the weather, and I have the UK coaches are part of the spring WhatsApp group. And in the past years, if the rain is so hard or the wind is so bad that playing just becomes so uncomfortable, then the UK coaches will message me and I'll send a message saying that practices have been cancelled. Unless you hear from me, you can assume that the sessions are on. Okay. Cool. Moving on. I think I'm just looking at the weather for the next 2 weeks. I think it looks pretty good. So hopefully we'll have uninterrupted play. Okay. Getting into details of 4U. So 4U, like I said, there are 6 groups, and there will be 3 sets of 2 teams, right? And there will be 3v3, and they will all be on S2. Okay. Right under S3 West. Okay. Any questions? Okay. It's from 8:30 to 9:20. 5U boys session format rules. Again, 6 groups, but we have more kids, and so there will be a 4v4 run by UK coaches. And sometimes if there are extra players, then so let's say there are 5 players in one team, and then the one player would be sitting out for a short while, and the substitutions will be managed by UK coaches. Again, these are 4-year-olds. Focus is on motor skills and coordination, even though they might be just 1 year older than the 4U division. Again, these kids can get hurt easily, can get upset easily. So parents, be on the field, and if the UK coaches ask to help you, or even if they don't ask to help, if you feel that your child needs help and encouragement, please be involved. Okay. They are all happening on S3 East. And this is the overall layout for the 5U boys. Okay. From 8:30 to 9:20. Any questions before I move on to the 4U and 5U girls? Cool. The star just means, and the star is applicable to any of these 4v4s, or the asterisks, is if there are any additional players, let's say a team has more than 4 players, then the substitutions will be managed by the UK coaches. Max of 4v4, but also the reverse applies. Let's say not enough kids show up, then some groups might be playing 4v4 and some groups might be playing 3v3. Okay, it all depends on the number of kids showing up. During spring break, not enough kids show up, and so the UK coaches can scale it down to 3v3. Okay, cool. Moving on. For you girls, there's 2 groups, and so they will be split into 4v4. Focus is on motor skills and coordination. Parent involvement is required, like I said before, and everything is happening on S2. And this is how it looks. We have 4v4. And so don't think that the same kids will be playing the same kids again and again. The UK coaches will observe the kids for the first 1 or 2 Saturdays and see that some kids might be better than the other kids. And so they will mix it up such that it will be the same group, but different kids will be playing each other on different Saturdays. Okay. Any questions? Moving on, 5U girls, 4 groups, 3v3 run by UK coaches. Again, motor skills and coordination and parent involvement is required. And then they will be playing in S2 and a 3v3 session format. Any questions, folks? Okay, cool. That's the detailed information. And so, like I said, AYSO supplies a reversible jersey is not applicable for this division. They will all get a standard jersey. Ignore the whole undershirt recommended. That's only for older kids. And you will get soccer socks. Shin guards are required, wear it under socks, and then soccer cleats are recommended for 8U and above. If you are going to buy soccer cleats, make sure that you are buying a soccer cleat and not a baseball cleat. A baseball cleat has a toe cleat or a front cleat that a soccer cleat does not have. And the front toe cleat can hurt the other kids while they are doing scrimmages. And it is not permissible for soccer. And so if your kid, just make sure, you are buying a soccer cleat. If your kid is wearing a baseball cleat, they will not be allowed to play. Any questions, folks? Moving on, uniform pickup. It's going to happen every weekday, Monday to Thursday, not on Fridays. There is no sessions on Fridays, and on Saturdays. Okay, at the referee tent. The referee tent is as the name sounds, is a tent-like structure right next to the children's play structure between all these fields. Finally, we are doing all this for kids. As you will see on C Cloud, you will see a bunch of kids on Saturdays, and kids are our #1 priority. And so fun, especially at this age group, fun is the most important thing. If your child has fun and they feel like they are looking forward to every Saturday and waking up every Saturday and saying that I want to go play soccer because they had fun, that would be our biggest accomplishment. At this age, winning really does not matter. And as parents, you only cheer, let the coaches coach. If you feel that you can coach your children as well as other children, please contact us. We are always looking for volunteer coaches, especially during the fall program, and we could definitely use your help. And like I mentioned before, there will be a ton of kids. Please make sure that there is no swearing, smoking, or alcohol. Set a proper example. referees at this age group doesn't matter, but 8U and above will have youth referees. And so parents, make sure that you respect the referees. And they are also children because they are all youth referees. Any questions? Okay. I addressed this, some of this before. We are partnering with UK International Soccer. We have partnered with them for more than 20 years, and we have had a great experience working with the UK coaches. We have 4 UK coaches, and I'll be sharing bios of them in an email shortly. Okay. These UK coaches are all between the age of 18 to 23 or 24. They come to the United States for experiencing life in the US, and they are always looking for a place to stay. Ideally, they do not want to be staying in an Airbnb or in a hotel because they want to basically think of it like an exchange program. They want the experience of being part of a family over here. And we would really appreciate it if any of you parents have an extra room in your house. We would love for you to host the coaches. And there are lots of perks to hosting these coaches. We are looking ideally for a minimum of 2 weeks and a maximum of at least 2 months, maximum of 2 months, because that's how long the season is going to be. For each 1 month of housing, you can get a free registration for one child in the UK camps. So, for example, there's a UK spring break camp happening during spring break. And throughout the summer, UK runs camps, 2-week camps that just keep repeating one after another. And some of these coaches build great relationships with the kids of the host families. And those kids really blossom because they get one-on-one coaching from the UK coaches. And if you host a coach for a minimum of 1 month, you get a voucher from AYSO that you can use it for a free AYSO registration for fall or for next year spring. Okay. It would really help if some of you folks who have an extra space who can host a coach. Okay. Moving on. Just some information about UK camps. You can just go to Google and type UKIS soccer camps and even type Foster City and it will show up. And they run 2-week camps through the summer, and during spring break, there is a 1-week camp. There is 2 possible camps that you can take in that 1-week camp. One is a half-day camp and the other is a full-day camp. Both of them are a lot of fun. My son has done both those camps and he has had a great time. Cool. Any questions so far, folks? Moving on. So that was spring. Just giving a heads up that fall registration is going to start in May. Like I said, if you're interested in coaching, or if you love the game of soccer and want to be a referee, or if you have older kids, we are looking for youth referees. The minimum age for a youth referee is 11 years old. And last fall, we have close to 20 to 25 youth referees refereeing a lot of games. We have the best youth referee program in all of the Bay Area. Other regions come and talk to us about how we built a great youth referee program. We provide mentoring, training, a lot of swag, and a lot of gifts for the youth referees. And if any of you are, if any of your kids are interested, definitely reach out to me. And if any of the parents are interested in becoming volunteer coaches or adult referees, definitely reach out to me. If you want to be in touch with our program, specifically with regards to when fall registration is going to start, please follow AYSO Foster City on Instagram, and we provide very regular updates. As you can see from these slides, there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes to make a program like this work. And I just covered 4U and 5U. We do something similar for 6U, 8U, 10U, 12U, and fall we go all the way to 14U. And so we would I mean, like I said, a lot of our board members love doing this and they're passionate about it, but they would love some help. And if you're interested, we have all kinds of open board positions available. We meet on the first Wednesday of every month at the Foster City Community Center, which is the building right next to the library. And a lot of these jobs don't require more than a couple of hours per month of investment. Only when a season is about to start, some additional investment is required. But once the season starts, usually there is not much work. And before a season starts, usually we don't need to spend more than a couple of hours every month for planning. Okay, cool. Yeah, like I said, feel free to reach out to me. Everything that I've talked about is on our website. So go to fcayso.org, click on our programs, and click on Spring Soccer, and everything should be there. Okay. Yes. There is a question on what are the exact times for picking up jerseys. I'll share that in a minute towards the end of the presentation, because I don't think I have it in the slides. I'll have to share another window for that. Just give me a minute. Okay. And yeah, if you have any questions, reach out to me or reach out to Beth, who is our registrar. And okay, where is my QR code? Give me a minute. Okay, give me a minute. Let me do something. Give me a minute. Let me share something else. So I'll send these slides and the WhatsApp to everyone, and the WhatsApp QR code should be available on those slides, and you can scan it. But also the link that Nancy shared over in the chat should work. Okay. So if either of these don't work, just drop me a line and I'll add you with your phone number, and I'll add you to the WhatsApp group. Okay. And finally, there was a question on what are the exact times for picking up the jerseys. Spreadsheet. Okay, these are some of the times for the weekdays, and this is the time on Saturday when you can pick up your jerseys. Okay. I let everyone take screenshots of this if they need to. And if there are any changes to the schedule, I'll let you know. So there's a question for 4U, 4v4 format. Is there a dedicated goalie? What happens if there aren't 4 players on one of the teams? So there is no dedicated goalie at this age group. And the UK coaches have the final discretion. They will look at the number of players who have showed up, and they will form either a 4v4 team or a 3v3 team. Or they will look at all the kids, and based on whether 3v3 or 4v4, let's say there are some kids, there are still some extra kids, they might have to sit out for 5 minutes or something like that, and the UK coaches will be substituting or rotating them on a 5-minute basis, if that makes sense. Okay. Any other questions?
In the fall program, there was before the scrimmages, there was individual play for these kids. Is that going to be the similar pattern in the spring session also, or is it just mostly going to be the kids and parents watching from the sidelines?
Can you repeat your question? I didn't understand. What happened in the fall? Can you please?
So in the fall, the scrimmage was only in the last few minutes of the session. Initially, every child had a ball. Every child was playing by themselves, like guided by the parents, and the coaches were overseeing this whole process, teaching them a skill, and then the parent would help the child, and the child pretty much had the ball throughout the season. Throughout
I see what you're saying. Yes, yes. Yeah, we are trying something different in spring. It's not like as soon as the kids come, they will jump into the scrimmages, right? There will be some drills and skills development. And when I say skills development, it will be mostly coordination and motor skills. And the UK coaches will divide the 50-minute session appropriately into skills and drills and then scrimmages.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? Okay. Looking forward to the Saturday. Thank you, Teresa, for your kind words. And we are also very excited to start the spring program for your kids on this Saturday. And if there are no more questions, I will see you all on Saturday.
Just to be clear real quick, I just looked it up too. It looks like it says 4U-5U. Are you just going to send around like the roster list so we know if we're 4U or 5U?
Yeah, I have an action item to help figure out basically
Perfect.
to help out the parents to figure out whether their kids are in 4U or in 5U. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your time. Bye-bye.